So the first rates are there, 22,380, and you've got the Sensex, which is at 73,770 or so. And I think you've got the Bank Nifty, which is also coming up. Bank Nifty, by the way, inched up slightly. We're down 150 straight at 47,291 or so. That's the start. It's slightly lower. 50 points down in the Nifty, Sensex down about 160. Mid-cap and small-cap indices, I think, are starting slightly lower as well. Small-cap index yesterday was down 0.5%. So we'll be interested to see what happens through the course of the day. But Sonia's got more rates. Sonia.
Well, thanks a lot for that. As you pointed out earlier, Tata Motors is really the big stock in focus, right, on the back of the demerger that was announced. So as we speak, Tata Motors is up almost about 3%. You have the Tata Motors DVR that's also looking pretty good. So the last time I checked, that was up almost about, I think, 2% or so. The Tata Motors DVR will come up in a bit. But apart from that, I of pressure right now. RBI has directed IIFL Finance to cease any gold financing business. So that is extremely bad news for the company, on almost about 20% odd. Macrotech Developers has been gaining quite a bit of ground lately. To launch a 3,300 crore QIP, so that stock is in the green. Rima was just telling us about how CLSA has downgraded some of these IT names. So TCS, HCL Tech has been downgraded by CLSA from an underperform. So both these stocks are under pressure right now. Adani Ports is also in focus this morning. Kotak has a buy, and they've raised their target price on Adani Ports to 1,520 from 1,400 earlier. And some of the other names in the defense space like BEL, BEML, Midhani are all in the green as we speak. The Defence Ministry has signed an MOU for development of advanced fueling and control systems. So all of these stocks are in focus. Midhani is the other one that I am looking at. Well, IEX is up about 0.2%. The overall volumes in Feb have gone up 15.5%. So looking pretty good there. Godrej Properties, once again, this entire real estate space has been doing well. It has emerged as the highest bidder for a land parcel in Noida with a revenue potential of 3,000 crores. So keep an eye out on Godrej Properties. Zee Entertainment had an analyst call yesterday where the company said that the revival plans are being put into action and they aim for 2,000 crores of EBITDA by FY26. But the street doesn't seem to be convinced, so the stock is absolutely flat as we speak. But other than that, you'd have to say that the Nifty is giving up some of its gains. It's now down almost about 70 odd points. Nothing alarming, but I think the pressure is seeping in from the Nifty bank. And also what's happened with IIFL Finance is a little bit of a, sentiment rub-off over there. So 20% lower on IIFL Finance. That's the big headline of the morning. Back to you.
Well, thanks a lot for that, Sonia. And, we mentioned in the morning chart itself, if IIFL Finance is going to be under pressure, that they can't disburse any gold loans, then, in fact, there could be gains for Muthoot, whose yield is close to around 18% approximately, and Manappuram at around 22 to 23%. And both of them are flying away in today's trading session. So you have gold prices itself that were higher overnight, and then also you have someone's pain is someone's gain. And it appears, at least as of now, Manappuram and Muthoot, if I'm not mistaken, both of them are making fresh 52-week highs in today's trading session. So those stocks are flying away. In PBM, we had some positive news that came in overnight. So that's one of the top volume gainers in today's trading session. It's up close to around 8.5%. SBFC Finance, that's another big volume mover today. That's up close to around 4% as we speak. On the flip side, you have Aavas Financiers. That stock has lost close to around 6.5% in today's trading session. BHEL, my colleague Hormas had highlighted that yesterday we saw a big up move, but it wasn't backed by big delivery-based buying, because the delivery percentage was down to, I think, the early teens, 12-13% approximately. So that stock is giving up some bit of what it put on yesterday. So yesterday it had a big move on that one. So that's down close to around 1.5%. What else is doing well in trade today? Well, you have Tata Motors DVR is outperforming Tata Motors. That's because it appears there's a bit of a pair trade that's taking place. That's the Tata Motors DVR, you buy that, and you short the Tata Motors stock. There's a bit of an arbitrage gap, even as of now, of close to around 5%. That's narrowing down a little bit and explains why the DVR actually is outperforming Tata Motors in today's trading session. And we have reason why Aavas Financiers is under pressure. 13% equity has changed hands. So that's the reason why that's down close to around 6.5%. Prashant.
Muthoot is up 10%. Manappuram is up 6%. And I just sort of wonder if this is on the back of, these are the oldest gold finance companies, right? I mean, around, especially Muthoot, and highest quality. Now, the point is, if the IIFL news is really, of course, it is helping both these companies. And Muthoot, for example, has told us many times, because over the last couple of years, the big issue has been competition. And Muthoot, the management has told us many times that, I mean, it's not an easy business. You can start it, but there are intricacies and nuances involved. So while everybody, of course, I mean, in terms of competition, banks and other NBFCs all jumped into the space in a big way, I mean, the steady commentary has been that eventually things will, it's not the core sort of players perhaps have a big advantage because they've done it so long. And of course, there are zero complaints in that sense, right? I mean, they've done it for decades now. Now, the other question, though, is it a bit overdone maybe, 10% on the back of this? There is, of course, the big rally in gold prices over the last couple of days as well. And there is a strong correlation between gold prices and, gold finance companies. I mean, there are things working, but 10 and 7%, we'll see if these gains hold as we go through the rest of the day. Just a few other names, before we go any further. You've got... let me just quickly look at the market breadth. By the way, 1:1 is what the market breadth now stands at. So it's kind of evened out. Tata Chemicals was up 2%. Just a few other names. 1,025. Gensol was limit down 10% yesterday. It's starting about 5% higher. Castrol is up 2.5%. SBFC, that is Small Business Finance, recent listing, 4.5% higher. GE Shipping is coming up with a 3% pop. So lots of action, by the way. Right out of the gates. BEML, Garden Reach, NBCC, these are all up in the range of between 2 and 3% at this point in time. So that is the overall picture. Aavas Financiers is down 5.5%, 1353 on Aavas Financiers. And maybe there is a Suzlon, which is down 3%, GICRE, which is down 2%. And of course, we've been highlighting what's happened to IIFL, which is limit down about 20% or so. But more stocks. IIFL Securities is the other one, by the way, which is also down about 7% or so, 142 on IIFL Securities right now. Max Financial Services is down 2% or so at this point in time.